When we take a look at the Wannacry ransomware, we see that SMB protocol was exploited. File sharing protocol of Microsoft was exploited to get inside company networks and put the malicious code in and encrypt the data. What we see that an attacker makes a connection to one of the PCs using the 445 SMB protocol, that's port number 445, gets inside the PC and puts his code in, encrypts the data, and spreads literally the code as well. Now the interesting thing that was observed was after the attacker made the initial connection to one of the PCs, he also requested two more connections to two different IP addresses. Two different IP addresses were put inside the victim's machine through the code that was initially put. What happened is, let's say this is the attacker, he makes the initial connection using the SMB 445 connection, gets inside the PC, puts the malicious code first in, then he makes two more connection requests to the IP addresses that are in this code. Those two IP addresses were RFC 1918 addresses. Simple RFC 1918 addresses, 172.16 addresses were seen inside that code, and the connection request for the SMB was made to these two IP addresses. So in total, three connection requests were made: one to the victim's own IP address and two to the RFC 1918 addresses that were put inside the victim's machine before after the first connection. So what does this all tell us? That simple security solutions, that as we all know, RFC 1918 addresses should not be allowed from coming from the internet to the inside network. They should not be a source or a destination of any packet. If you are running RFC 1918 addresses inside your inside the network, we know that we NAT it to go to the internet because they are not routable. Similarly, we shouldn't expect RFC 1918 addresses from internet as well. So if we have put simple security solutions like an ACL to block those 1918 addresses, 10.0.0, we know what RFC 19 are, 172.16, and the third one 192.168. Blocking these RFC 19 would have stopped the attacker midway. He would have made the initial connection obviously, but he couldn't have made those two other connections to the IP addresses that was put inside the code. Would have stopped him midway, not doing his malicious activity full on, and then would have saved the company assets. So sometimes simple steps like simple security measures that we put in our security policies, blocking those addresses, would have saved the day for most of the companies.